In the beginning, this world had nothing. But then the goddess created 9 races: dragonites, elves, demons, dwarves, the Demon King race, dark elves, chimeras, beast folk, and lastly, the weakest of them all, humans. The story begins with a boy named Light. He says goodbye to his family and heads out on a brand new journey. Since childhood, he had only one dream. No matter what it took, he wanted to become an adventurer. And since his race was human, he knew the path wouldn't be easy. He finally arrives at a city where people from all over the world gather just to become adventurers. He starts looking around, hoping to find an adventurer's guild as soon as possible, but suddenly, a few beastmen show up behind him and start talking trash. In this world, humans are considered extremely weak and are bullied constantly. Light finally enters the adventurer's guild and speaks with the receptionist. He begins the registration process. She asks him if he has any kind of gift. He answers confidently, saying yes, he does. His gift is called Unlimited Gacha. A set of cards appears in front of him, and if he wants, he can summon whatever appears on them into real life. But Light is only level 15, so he can't use this ability properly yet. His first summons are a broken fork, a rotten apple, and a stale piece of bread. Even the receptionist looks a little confused seeing this. She asks what he wants to do next, and he says he wants to become an adventurer. She points him toward the quest board, but he can't read anything. She sighs and tells him his gift is low rank anyway, so she has some basic jobs for him. He can collect firewood, coal, or dirt. Light is passionate about becoming an adventurer, so he agrees immediately. He heads into the forest and works hard to gather wood, coal, and finally dirt. He earns a small amount of money. He thinks to himself that it isn't much, but at least he can buy dinner. As he walks away, some beast folk block his path again. They blame him for bumping into them and take the little money he earned. He can't fight back. He's a human, and he's only level 15. No one steps in to help him. But suddenly, a hand reaches out to him. Light looks up and sees a beautiful elf. She tells him he doesn't need to be afraid. Light is shocked. Elves are considered upper class, and they look down on humans. But this elf is different. Her companions join her and introduce themselves. They are members of the Ganko tribe. San? One of them, a wolf beastman named Garo, speaks up. Then everyone gives their introduction. Sasha, the level 308 elf, Drago, the level 512 dragon, Oboro, the level 301 dwarf, Sino, the dark elf, and finally Zar, a chimera. They tell Light they just need one human to complete their group and ask if he'd like to join them. Light can't believe anyone would want to be his friend, but he happily agrees. The next day, the group explores a dungeon. A bunch of snake monsters attack Light, but Drago steps in and kills them instantly. Another snake launches at him, but Sasha jumps in and saves him again. She leans closer and asks if he's hurt, calling him adorable. Everyone treats him kindly, and Light loves the atmosphere. There's no discrimination, no hate. Soon, the group starts teasing Sasha and Light, making jokes, and Light enjoys it even more. Drago suddenly tells him to stand up because he wants to drink the tea Light makes. Light is thrilled because they treat him like one of their own. Eventually, the group reaches a dead end. Drago tells them this spot will work. Everyone becomes serious, even Sasha, but Light stays busy preparing tea for everyone. Suddenly, Drago approaches him and says they've decided to kick him out of the group. Light freezes, not understanding what he means. Drago repeats himself. Light is no longer part of their group. Garo steps forward, saying Light didn't hear him properly. He's out. Even Sasha, who had been so kind, suddenly gets angry and says she never liked him. Everyone starts insulting him. Light is confused and tries to laugh it off, asking where the hidden camera is. But they tell him it's not a prank. They say they never liked him from the beginning. Light asks why they suddenly want to kill him, and they tell him the real reason. His gift, Unlimited Gacha. Light doesn't understand. They explain that their boss ordered them to kill him, so they befriended him just to lower his guard. Now they plan to finish him off. Garo attacks first. When the hit lands, Light finally realizes everything they said was true. Terrified, he runs for his life, but Garo enjoys the chase and keeps striking at him. Sasha fires an arrow that knocks Light to the ground. Garo moves toward Light and starts slashing him with his claws. He kicks him hard and sends him flying across the ground. Then he says he's going to torture him slowly until he dies, and he begins stomping on Light's wounds over and over. But Sasha tells him to finish it quickly. Somewhere inside, Light still has a tiny hope of surviving. Garo steps forward to deliver his final attack, but at that very moment, Light slowly crawls forward. Suddenly, a teleportation circle activates beneath him. Garo charges in to finish the job, but Light vanishes. When Light opens his eyes, he realizes he's still inside the dungeon. Later, he discovers he has been teleported to the lowest level of the Abyss. This is a place filled only with monsters above level 1000, all of them around S rank. Light whispers to himself, wondering if he's already dead. What mistake had he even made? He thinks of his parents and starts crying, knowing he'll never be able to return. He remembers his group again and asks why they betrayed him. He wants nothing more than to destroy every one of them, but he can't do anything. He has no power, and he's only level 15. As he's speaking, a level 1000 monster appears behind him. It's a mithril class creature, extremely powerful. It walks toward him, and Light is terrified. He says he'll have to use his worthless ability one last time. Light activates Unlimited Gacha. Suddenly, a bright light bursts out from the card, just as the monster charges at him. And then, a very cute girl materializes from the light. In a single second, she obliterates the level 1000 monster completely. Light can't even understand what just happened. The girl who appeared looks overpowered and is wearing a maid uniform. She walks toward Light, places her hand on him, and heals all his wounds in an instant. It seems she used Super Medicate. Light realizes all his injuries are completely gone. He doesn't feel any pain anymore. They introduce themselves. The maid learns that her master's name is Light, and she becomes very happy when she hears it. She thinks to herself that Lord Light is such a beautiful name. She continues talking to him. Light asks for her name, and she tells him her name is May. Her level is 999, which means she's extremely powerful. May explains everything about herself. She says she is a super ultra rare guard who was summoned here through Light's Unlimited Gacha. Light can't believe his ability could ever summon someone this overpowered. But May tells him that Lord Light's power is extremely strong and can even become dangerous. She starts explaining more about Unlimited Gacha, but first she asks him if she may appraise him, which is one of her many skills. Light soon learns that she doesn't have just one gift, but many. May uses her appraisal skill and begins analyzing his body. She notices his sword is incredibly large, which means the plot is going to develop in a very interesting direction. Then she explains how Unlimited Gacha actually works. With this gift, Light can summon many types of cards. Super rare cards, super ultra rare cards, normal cards, and error cards. The results depend on the amount of mana in the air around him. That's why when he used his magic in the Adventurers Guild, nothing great appeared. The air had no mana at all. But here, at the lowest level of the Abyss, the mana is extremely dense. That's why he could summon a super ultra rare guard. Now Light finally begins to understand his ability. May thanks him for coming all the way down to this level of the dungeon just so she could be summoned. Light tells her everything. He says he didn't come here on purpose. He was betrayed and thrown into this place by the people he trusted. He cries, saying he never did anything wrong. Seeing Light cry makes May emotional, and she becomes even angrier on his behalf. She says if he wants, she can bring him the heads of every single one of his former teammates. He only needs to give the order. But Light stops her immediately. He says he doesn't want her to kill them because he will take his revenge himself. His only mistake was being weak. But now he says he has had enough. He will become powerful and he will destroy each one of his teammates with his own hands. May promises she will stay with him no matter what path he chooses. Light thanks her. After that, Light uses his Unlimited Gacha ability once again in the Abyss, planning to build a massive kingdom right here, and from that kingdom he will take his revenge. If you want part 2, make sure to hype the video as much as you can. As soon as this video reaches 200 comments, I'll upload the next part. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. And now we move to the story 3 years later inside the same base. Light has built an enormous kingdom using his Unlimited Gacha. He walks forward and we see that he has summoned an entire army of maids. By now, Light has also become a bit stronger. He truly loves his kingdom, and everyone living there praises him. All the maids are crazy about getting a chance to serve Light, but he keeps moving forward as usual. Slowly, Light has developed his kingdom into something impressive. And in this kingdom, only humans live, because every other species had betrayed him. Light addresses his people, and everyone looks genuinely happy with him. They all see him as their king, and they truly adore him. Moving ahead, Light asks May about Aoki. Aoki is one of his special cards, summoned through unlimited gacha, and she's extremely powerful. She's a scout who keeps an eye on monsters in the forest. Light's entire surrounding territory is deep forest, so Aoki plays a major role. Light then asks Mei about Ellie. Ellie is a mage he also summoned through unlimited gacha, and she's level 999. She is extremely overpowered as well. They need to expand the kingdom as soon as possible because they're running out of food. Next, we learn about another new card Light summoned. Her name is Najuna. She's level 9999 and she's a knight. Light asks Mei where Najuna is. Najuna usually spends the whole day and night patrolling the castle, watching for intruders. We see her in a knight uniform as she begins her rounds. Meanwhile, Light and Mei finally arrive back at the castle, where Light meets his trainer, Jack, also summoned through unlimited gacha. When Jack sees Light, he casually says, "Hey Light, what's up?" Mei doesn't like this at all because she can't tolerate any human being too casual with her master. Light then leaves with Jack to begin training. We learn that Light has already been training for a while, and his level has started to increase. He goes one-on-one with Jack, punching him in the stomach. But Jack's iron blood barrier ability keeps him completely unharmed. Light can't do any damage at all. They continue training while Najuna keeps patrolling. Suddenly she runs into a group of maids. These maids are jealous of Mei the head maid because she stays with Light 24 hours a day. They stop Najuna and say, "Najuna, are you free? We need to talk." Then they fill her head with lies. They tell her she should patrol Lord Light's room. Najuna, being a bit naive, agrees and heads straight to Light's room. She meets Mei there, who becomes extremely shy when she sees Najuna. Najuna begins questioning Mei. What is she doing in Light's room? Are they trying to twist the story? As she looks around, she notices the bed, and she immediately suspects Mei. Najuna shows Mei a letter, the one the other maids gave her. She reads it out loud. The letter is full of insults aimed at Mei. When Mei hears this, she becomes furious. As a reward, Mei hands Najuna some money. Najuna then goes to a shop to buy something and returns to the castle. There she meets Aoki, who has just come back from the surface. Najuna asks her how things are outside. Did she fight any monsters? Aoki tells her no, there are no monsters around. Najuna becomes happy hearing that. Aoki then shows her a letter she obtained, and Najuna praises her. Meanwhile, Light is still training with Jack in the dungeon. Keep exchanging punches without stopping. Najuna now has nothing to do, so she goes to Light's throne. She sits on it and starts fantasizing, imagining that Light is sitting with her, planning their future kingdom together. But in the middle of her daydream, she accidentally knocks off a piece of a statue and breaks it. Panicking, she quickly fixes it and runs away. Back to Light and Jack. After training, they go to bathe and rest. While bathing, Jack tells Light, "Master, we need to go to the surface." The moment Light hears the word surface, he remembers his past, especially the beetle incident. He says, "Yes, Jack, I have to go. I need to complete my revenge. But this time, I'll always keep my guard up so no one can betray me again." Meanwhile, we see Mei and the other maids. Mei has now learned what they all think of her. The other maids are terrified because they know Mei is level 9999 and also the Chimera Light summoned first. They panic and apologize to her. Mei says, "Why did you insult me in the letter?" The maids stutter and say it was a mistake. Mei scolds them heavily. They all tremble in fear. Mei finally gives them their punishment. You must clean the entire hall yourselves, and without using any magic. The maids are shocked. Without magic? But how? Mei looks at them and says, "Do you have a problem with that?" They immediately reply, "No, head maid Mei, not at all." Terrified, they all run off to do the punishment. Now we return to Najuna, who is out in the city. Suddenly, Ellie shows up behind her. The two start talking, and as usual, both of them end up fighting over Light. Ellie says, "I have only one dream, to have dinner with Lord Light." Najuna replies, "Yeah, same here, and I also want to play with his sword." Najuna pauses and asks, "Sword? What does that even mean?" But Najuna is so clueless that she has no idea what Ellie is talking about. Ellie is a magician who uses magic, while Najuna only has her sword. But her swordsmanship is incredible. Later that night, we see all the maids holding another secret meeting. They whisper nervously, "Oh no, Mei found out about our plan. Should we poison her?" Someone quickly says, "No, we can't. She's immune to poison." Then they all panic, wondering what to do. They all feel jealous of Mei because she stays with Light 24 hours a day. They even start thinking that May knows every inch of Light's body. Soon they learn that May was the first card Light ever summoned using unlimited gacha. Hearing this makes them even more frantic. Just then, May herself walks in. She says, "It seems you were talking about me." All of them panic. "No, Headmaid May, we weren't saying anything." They're terrified. May tells them that when Light first summoned her, they had no time for anything else. Hearing this gives the maids a tiny bit of relief, but they're still extremely scared. They beg her not to kill them. "Please, May, we're like your loyal pet dogs. Please forgive us." But May gives them another punishment. She says, "You will clean Lord Light's throne room, and you will do it without magic." The maids panic even more. "Without magic? How are we supposed to do that?" May replies, "You should have thought about that earlier." A moment later, all the maids arrive in the throne room and begin cleaning everything by hand. But then something goes wrong. Now, while one of the maids is cleaning the throne, she accidentally knocks off a small piece of a statue and breaks it. All of them freeze in shock. Meanwhile, we see Najuna getting ready for bed. Tomorrow she has to join Light on an important mission. She tells herself, "I have to make Lord Light happy somehow. Tomorrow I'll be training with him." The next morning, Light walks into the dungeon, where he meets Najuna, Aoki, and Ellie. They begin discussing their plan to accompany Light to the surface. Today is the day he will finally complete his revenge. He agrees to take all three of them with him. They continue talking, but suddenly, a huge hellhound appears behind them. When Light sees it, he remembers his terrifying past, the time when he had no power and the hellhound attacked him before. But now things are completely different. As soon as the maids see the hellhound, they become furious. Their mana and aura skyrocket to insane levels. The hellhound becomes terrified, overwhelmed by the power of the three girls, and drops to its knees. But Light stops them. He walks toward the hellhound and says, "Are you scared? Don't be, just go." The hellhound quickly escapes. Light then turns to the three girls. "Are all of you ready to head to the surface?" They answer, "Yes, Master Light, we're ready." And so, Light and his companions begin their journey to complete his revenge. The moment he has waited 3 long years for has finally arrived. After that, we return to the City of Wolves. By now, Jiro had become incredibly famous across the entire city. People admired him, some even worshipped him like a god, and Jiro enjoyed every bit of it. He walked forward proudly, craving even more of this attention. But then his eyes fell on a human boy. He walked straight toward him, kicked him hard, and even spat on him. Jiro said, "You filthy humans! You've even reached this place?" After that, he went into a bar with his gang, where everyone showered him with praise. Many people called him Boss Jiro, and Jiro loved hearing it. He told them, "Eat as much as you want. Tonight's party is on me." "Thank you, boss," they shouted. No one could believe that Jiro had now become the vice commander of the Wolfmen. And if his influence kept going like this, it wouldn't be long before he became the leader of the entire Wolf Clan. The whole crowd was excited, and Jiro himself was thrilled. Everyone began asking him, "Master Jiro, where did you get all this money? You must have worked really hard. You probably took only the best job requests from the Adventurers Guild. Just like the job you did 3 years ago. That's when your fate completely changed. What was that job about?" "Are you crazy?" someone else said. "That was a national secret. Master Jiro can't tell you." "Oh, I see. Sorry, Mr. Jiro." "No problem," Jiro replied. "Drink as much as you want." They kept enjoying themselves, until Jiro suddenly remembered that job from 3 years ago. The job that made him rich. The same job where he betrayed Light. He murmured to himself, "I still can't believe I was paid so much just to kill a child. But I never understood why the herbs said what they said, or what their true purpose was." While they were still talking, a strange human girl walked in. That girl was May. May approached Jiro and asked, "Lord Jiro, I know you were part of the same trap that involved Light." "Oh, yeah, I was part of it. Light was a good friend. I was Lord Light's personal maid. And do you know, Light had noble blood?" "What? He had noble blood?" "Yes, that's the truth." "I want a favor from you," she said. "Go ahead," Jiro replied. "I want you to take me to the place where Lord Light took his last breath." "So that's what you want? Fine, I'll do it." But inside, Jiro began wondering if he should actually help her. After all, only the herbs knew the real secret behind Light's death, and they were the ones who ordered it. Still, he kept thinking about May. Before he could say anything, May added, "I'm not asking you to do this for free. I'll pay you in gold coins." When they saw the gold, Jiro and his men were stunned. They immediately agreed. Jiro said, "All right, he was a good friend. I can at least do this much for him." But in his mind, he had only one thought. He had to finish this mission no matter what. If this girl was setting a trap for him, she was still just a powerless human. He wasn't worried. Jiro and his gang began leading Mei toward the dungeon. But soon, Jiro noticed something. Mei's mana was slowly fading. He started forming a plan. He would take her to the base, kill her, and then do all sorts of horrible things to her corpse. The thought alone made him excited. He walked ahead and finally pointed toward a spot. "This is the place," he said. "This is where my friend Light took his last breath." "So this really is the place?" Mei asked. "Yes, a monster attacked him, and I couldn't do anything. It was too powerful." This was the location where Light had disappeared through teleportation. Mei was shocked. She began to pray for him. Meanwhile, Jiro quietly blocked the exit, ready to trap her. But Mei suddenly said, "How could you betray a young boy like that?" Jiro froze. How did she know? Mei whispered to herself, "If only I had been there with Lord Light. He wouldn't have had to spill his blood. No one would have betrayed him." Mei's anger rose. The man who betrayed Light was standing right in front of her. Her mana pressure exploded outward. When Jiro and his men felt the pressure, they were completely stunned. They had never experienced anything like this in their lives. Mei, furious, said, "I will end you." But before she could strike, a voice behind her said, "Mei, please don't. Jiro is my prey." Jiro heard the voice and froze in terror. It couldn't be possible, but he recognized it. Light was still alive. Light pulled back his hood and said, "Hello, Jiro. Did you recognize me?" No, this can't be. You're Light?" Even then, Jiro remained confident. He believed he could still kill Light. He knew Light had no powers. "You're still just a human," Jiro growled. "A human with no power at all." Light simply watched him. "It seems you still haven't changed, Jiro. I know you must have many questions. How I survived, how I know Mei." But Jiro was already furious. "I'll kill you both one by one. Do you even realize? You're just two humans. My entire gang is here. I'm not some level 15 human anymore. I'm level 150. And every one of my men is above level 130. We'll crush you one after another." He roared with rage. A pack of wolf monsters charged toward Light, but before they could reach him, Mei stepped forward and sliced off their heads in a single second. Jiro and his gang watched in shock, completely frozen. Right then, Light says to Mei, "Mei, thank you, but I need you to do something for me. Please keep an eye on the dungeon exit. No one should be able to get out." "Okay, Master Light," she says, and heads over there. By now, Jiro was completely furious. He warns his men, be careful around him. Even he couldn't understand what had just happened. But one thing was clear. His only goal now was to somehow kill Light. He orders his men, "Just stay with me. Humans are useless for anything anyway." Light looks at him and says, "Jiro, you really haven't changed." "What do you mean I haven't changed? Everything I said is reality. Humans are far inferior to us werewolves. Even your rank is way lower." The moment he says that, all the wolves charge at Light. They were bloodthirsty and ready to tear him apart. But in just 1 second, Light kills every last one of them. Nobody could understand what even happened in that single moment. Light walks up to Jiro. "So now what do you think, Jiro? Do you still believe I'm nothing?" "I'll kill you, Light. I'll kill you," Jiro snaps, stepping back. He pulls out a small orb from his pocket. "Now I'm going to use my weapon. Free rain monster, appear." Suddenly, Jiro summons a free rain monster with a level of 500. Its power was terrifying. Jiro was confident now, convinced this monster would tear Light apart. "Kid, I'm going to end you right here. This is going to be fun." Light, however, was excited too. "All right, let's play a game. I won't move from this spot. Go ahead, attack me as fast as you can." Jiro's monster unleashes a massive blast of magic at Light. When the smoke clears, Light is standing there unharmed. Jiro is shocked beyond words. Light finally loses his patience. He activates his unlimited gacha ability and summons a free rain monster of his own, a criminal god, level 9000, a terrifying creature with overwhelming power. The moment this monster breathes toward Jiro's summoned beast, it explodes into pieces in a single second. Nobody could understand what had just happened. Jiro breaks down, crying. How can a level 500 monster die so easily? He was shaking all over. Fear had taken over completely. Then Light reveals his actual level. When Jiro sees it, his eyes almost fall out of his skull. A level 99? How can a human reach that? Humans can only reach level 100 at best. He was completely stunned. He starts begging, Light, please forgive me. I was just following the high-ups' orders. I don't have a brain, I swear. I only did what they told me. Please forgive me. Fine, Light says. Then answer me this. Who are your masters? They're the high-ups from the surface world. They have insane amounts of energy. What's their name? I don't know, Jiro says, terrified. Light gets even more angry. Please, I'm telling the truth. I don't know anything. Light looks at the other wolves. What about you? Do you know anything? Yes, I know. Me too. But before they can say anything, May slices them into 1,000 pieces in 1 second. She says, How dare you lie to Lord Light? She had already used her eye judgment ability and knew every one of them was lying. She had no choice but to eliminate them. Jiro, watching all of this, was terrified beyond imagination. All right, Jiro, I have one more question for you. What is it? What do you think? If we fought your world's high-ups, would we win or not? And remember, you must tell the truth. My eye judgment is still active. Jiro was shaking so hard his pants were already wet. Master Light, you're very strong, but you're just one person, and the high-ups are an entire group. So I don't think you can beat them. Light hears that and gets angry again, just as I thought. So Jiro, you're coming with me. With you. Light uses a teleportation spell and brings Jiro to his kingdom. When Jiro sees it, he's completely stunned. Light and May walk forward, entering the place where Light's entire army stands. Demigods, demi-humans, robots, and many more. All of them hold deep respect for Light. Light sits on his throne and everyone bows before him. You may lift your heads now, he says. Jiro checks their levels and nearly faints. Every single soldier's level was in the 4-digit range. Even the weakest among them was level 1500. 4 of them were level 9999. Jiro couldn't believe what he was seeing. Could a human really create something like this? Light turns to him. So tell me again, Jiro. Do you still think I can't defeat your high-ups? Jiro looks around and realizes the truth. We created this monster? No, he's not a monster. He's a god of destruction. Light smirks. Did you call me a god? Maybe I am. After all, my gift is unlimited gacha. Light then announces his decision. He will travel to the surface and start a war against the high-ups. He turns to his massive army. So, are you all ready for war? After some time, Light heads to the surface to meet his family in a nearby village. But the moment he walks forward, his eyes go wide. He can't believe what he's seeing. The village that existed just a short while ago is now completely destroyed. He can't understand what could have happened here. But the only thing giving him a bit of relief is that he still hasn't found the bodies of his family. 6 months later, Light returns to his village with a gold knight and an assassin named Nemomu. The first thing he does is pay his respects to the villagers. By now, he's almost certain that someone attacked them. And it might be the same secret society that once planned to kill him. Maybe, while trying to assassinate him, they ended up reaching his village and wiped it out as well. Light doesn't know what to do next. But Gold, the knight, says they should leave the area soon because dangerous monsters come out at night. They could die if they stay. Nemomu snaps at him. How dare he talk like that? They will do whatever Lord Light commands. But even she knows they need a plan. They decide they must find the people responsible for destroying Light's village. Light vows in his heart that no matter what, he will hunt them down. When he finds them, he will destroy them. His aura becomes so intense that even Nemomu tells him to calm down, and Light finally agrees. Light takes out a mask from his pocket. It will hide his identity and keep anyone from sensing his true power level. Now they're ready. Their plan is to go to the city of Dega and register as adventurers so they can gather information. That's the only way they'll find out who attacked Light's village. Nemomu asks why the Comrades are going to the city of Dega, but Light tells her that on the surface he isn't Light. He is dark because no one can know his real identity. She apologizes. Light explains they need to stay in Dega as adventurers so they can move freely and investigate. Eventually they reach the forest and continue the rest of their journey on foot, but soon they spot some dwarves bullying humans and stealing their supplies. When the dwarves see Light and his group, they get excited and attack. Light's team defeats them in just 2 seconds. One of the humans, an adventurer named Carnell, thanks them and says he's also heading to the city of Dega. The group joins him in his wagon. Carnell's daughter is shocked to see humans defeating dwarves so easily. She asks if they're high-ranked adventurers. They explain that they haven't even registered yet. In Cho, Dark tells her that they're going to Dega to become adventurers. Carnell explains that the city of Dega is a dwarven city surrounded by the human and elven kingdoms. Soon they arrive at the gate. Dark and his team thank Carnell and continue on foot. Before leaving, Carnell tells them he owns an inn and they're welcome to stay there if they need a place. The group plans to maintain a low profile as adventurers. They're excited. This is their first time exploring the surface. After reaching the Adventurer Guild, the people inside react with fear and quickly step away from them. Light thinks to himself, looks like nothing has changed. They still hate humans. They go to the receptionist and register. But when Nemomu realizes they ranked Dark as an F-rank adventurer, she gets furious. How dare you give Lord Dark an F rank? The receptionist laughs and tells her she must be crazy. Everyone starts at F rank. They leave and head to Carnell's inn. Carnell's daughter lights up when she sees them again. Carnell asks Dark what he needs. Dark tells him he wants to buy the entire top floor of the inn for a month, and no one should enter while he's staying there. He hands Carnell some gold coins, and Carnell agrees. Later on the top floor, Nemomu asks Light why he wants to become an adventurer. Why not stay at the base and rule his kingdom from there? Light gets angry. Do you want me to ignore my revenge? She quickly denies it. Light's mana surges so fiercely that everything around him begins to shake. Gold steps in to calm him down, and Light finally regains control. The next day, Light and the others head toward the dungeon. Everyone is excited because Gold is wearing a full set of golden armor. They reach the entrance, only to find a long line of people waiting. Light learns this dungeon is extremely high level. Suddenly, a group of humans cuts the line. Everyone around them trembles in fear. Light scans them and realizes they're very high-ranked. Then he hears the real reason. Right now, the Dwarf Kingdom and Elf Kingdom are at war, fighting over control of this dungeon. Light steps forward and tells them there's a line, but one of the hooded men threatens it. He's ready to use his signature weapon, but his companion stops him, reminding him that using that weapon here would be stupid. They leave. Everyone cheers for Light and tells him he did a great job. A group of young adventurers comes over to thank him. They ask if Gold's armor is really made of gold. He tells them yes, it's real. They ask if this is their first time entering a dungeon. Light says yes. The kids warn him that this dungeon is extremely high level, and adventurers die here every day. They tell Light and his team they should bring food. But it turns out Light and his friends didn't bring anything to eat. Soon it's the kids' turn to enter the dungeon. But Light and his group had already stored plenty of supplies inside their item boxes. Finally, it was Light's turn to enter the dungeon. All of them started moving forward. Until now, none of them had explored any other dungeon, and this one was an elite-level dungeon. Gold, Nemomo, and Light moved ahead. Light explained that dungeons have multiple floors, and the deeper you go, the more intense the dungeon's mana becomes. And now, they finally stepped inside the dungeon where the scenery was truly breathtaking. Light immediately pulled out a few power-ups from his unlimited gacha, and then they all started flying forward so they could clear the dungeon floors quickly and return to their own world. They advanced deeper inside. Meanwhile, in the forest, we see a few hooded figures, the same ones who previously ran into Light. One of them, the elf, stepped forward and unsheathed his sword. He began cutting down every orc in sight, overwhelmed with rage because he was still furious at Light. His anger only grew, and his power surged. With a single slash, he wiped out all the orc monsters around him. He shouted, furious, "I am an elite white knight. How dare that girl speak to me that way? I am a hero, and my name is Kyoto." But then his companion stepped forward, another dark elf. He urged him, "Master Kyoto, please calm down." "How am I supposed to calm down? I have to kill that human kid no matter what." We see that Kyoto's level is 1500. He told Yannick, "I'm a hero. I need to level up no matter what, and once I do, I'll finish that human boy." Yannick replied, "Yes, master, I know. I'll help you however I can to increase your level." And the two of them continued deeper. As for Light and his group, they also cleared several monsters and collected magical gems. By now they had reached the 3rd floor of the dungeon. They decided it was time to head back to the 1st floor, the surface. They began flying upward. But on the way, they spotted a group of human adventurers fighting goblins. Light's team decided to help them. Suddenly, Light and the others dropped down from above. Before they could do anything, the adventurers began killing the goblins themselves. But then, out of nowhere, a snake attacked them from behind. Light rushed forward and saved them just in time. Right then, Light and his companions sensed something approaching. Light said, "An enemy is coming toward us." And then, from within the forest, several dragonfang wolves emerged. Everyone froze in shock at the sight. But Light spoke up. "No, these aren't enemies." The adventurers stared at him. "They're not enemies. Then who are they?" All the kids were terrified the moment the mantis appeared. None of them had any idea what to do next. They quickly made a plan to run back toward the guild. But that's when Light spoke up. "So I guess you guys aren't planning to finish this thing. Does that mean this prey is ours?" "What are you even saying? We need to run back to the guild right now or this thing will kill us." The mantis started moving toward them. But Light, Nemumo, and Gold were fully prepared. Gold charged at it first and attacked with his sword. But the mantis was a high-level monster, and even Gold realized how dangerous it was. He knew the three of them had to fight it together. Then Light used his unlimited gacha and summoned a fireball jutsu, launching it at the mantis. But the mantis dodged it easily and even threw the fireball right back at him. Chimera, the adventurer watching them, was completely shocked. She had never seen magic like this before. Gold immediately attacked again, slamming his shield into that mantis. With just his shield, he broke one of its tentacles. Everyone who saw his strength was stunned. Then Gold slashed with his sword and cut off another one of the creature's arms. The adventurers watching were filled with excitement. Light then used his unlimited gacha spell again and fired nearly 30 fire arrows at once. The arrows were extremely powerful, and the mantis couldn't avoid them at all. Light's fireballs kept hitting it one after another, and its body was almost completely destroyed. Now the mantis was terrified of Light. It decided to retreat, but before it could escape, Light summoned a wall of fire around it, trapping it completely. Chimera was thrilled watching his power. The three of them approached the mantis, ready to finish it. But suddenly the mantis lifted itself into the air. Light ordered Nemumo to move. Nemumo jumped up and in just 1 second, shredded its entire body with her slashes. They finally killed the mantis. Nemumo's attack was so destructive that there was no gemstone left in the remains. After searching for a long time, they eventually found the gemstone. They decided to head back to the surface. But Light said they still needed to level up. Just then, Mike asked, "Are you guys one of the 3 great adventurers? Are you S rank?" "No, we're not S rank. We're actually F rank." Everyone was shocked when they heard that and became even more excited. Chimera then used her magic to create fresh water and clean them up. The adventurers asked, "Could you please spend the night with us? We've set up camp here." Light and his team agreed, mostly because Chimera wanted to talk to Light about magic. At night, they sat by the campfire and talked. Chimera had become a huge fan of Light. She asked him, "Can you really use magic from every class?" "Yes, I can." Hearing that, Chimera was stunned. She explained, "This world has 3 types of magic. First is combat magic, which only works in a limited area. Second is tentacle magic, which includes spells like Firewall. And third is strategy magic, the most dangerous type. Elves, dwarves, dragon knights, and others can use such magic easily, but for humans it's extremely risky." She added, "I think Dark might be a legendary human." They continued talking about why they became adventurers. The other adventurers explained that they wanted to earn enough money to send their younger sister, Mian, to a magical academy. Dark also shared his past. "My parents died in a fire. That's why I want to complete my journey as an adventurer no matter what." Light began to feel a sister-like vibe from Mian. Chimera then asked Nemumo and Gold, "Are you two a couple?" "No, not at all." Meanwhile, in another part of the dungeon, Kyoto the elf was still furious and slaughtering orcs one after another. He carried a sword that was considered a national treasure. His companion, Yannick, collected the gemstones from the monsters. With their mission almost complete, Yannick said, "I just need a few human brands now." Kyoto replied, Looks like it's time to eliminate them. Back at the guild, Dark and his team submitted the gemstone. It was a rare item, and the guild receptionist was extremely excited, knowing it would bring her a lot of profit. Did you really defeat the mantis on the 5th floor? She asked. Yes, I did. News spread everywhere that Dark and his team defeated the joint mantis on the 5th floor. Still, no one believed a human team could do such a thing. On their way out, 2 humans named Gilbert and Civilian approached them. Hey kid, are you Dark? I know you're lying. There's no way you killed that joint mantis. Hearing this, Nemumo was furious and ready to attack them, but the rest of the team held her back. Other species like beastfolk and others began to get jealous of Light's team. They moved on and headed back toward the dungeon again. While flying, they met the same adventurers from before. Mian was extremely excited to see Dark and gave him a beautiful gift. Dark used his unlimited gacha ability and gave her a double S-rank bracelet in return. They left quickly, heading toward the 5th floor again to kill more monsters and level up. As they flew, Nemumo said, "Why did you give that girl a double S-rank bracelet?" Soon they arrived back on the 5th floor of the dungeon. Nemumo and Gold had also arrived by then. But Light suddenly told them, "You two will finish this one on your own. I'm heading out." Light used his teleportation magic and decided to return to the base. The moment he appeared there, May, Ellie, and the others greeted him warmly. Everyone was happy to see Light back, so they immediately started talking with him. After that, Light began discussing the next steps. He asked them, "So, how is the revenge plan coming along?" May replied, "Yes, we're practicing every day, but we're running low on resources." Light handed them more supplies and said, "No matter what, we must complete our revenge." Then he gave each girl her specific orders about what needed to be done next. Everyone headed out right away because each of them had to help Light so he could finish his revenge as soon as possible. Meanwhile, on the dungeon's 3rd floor, Gilbert and Civilian were talking. "I don't believe for a second that human kid defeated a joint mantis," Gilbert said. "You're right," Civilian replied. "He's lying. There's no way a human has that kind of power. So what is he? A hero? Something else?" "No way, that's ridiculous," Gilbert said. Civilian eventually left to check something, but when he returned to their camp, he was shocked. Kyoto, the elf, had killed every one of his companions. Kyoto was filled with rage. He glared at Civilian and said, "You humans are insects. I'm going to wipe you out." Civilian froze. All his friends were dead. Kyoto had slaughtered them one by one. Civilian thought to himself, "He's an elf. There's no way I can win against him." But he quickly used a smokescreen and tried to escape. But Kyoto caught him before he could get far. At that moment, Yannick arrived and knocked Civilian unconscious. But Yannick frowned and said, "No, I needed humans alive. I only have one human left. You killed the others." Kyoto said, "It's fine. I still need to find that kid and kill him anyway." He was completely ready to continue his experiments. They had all returned to the surface, and that's where we see Nemomu still arguing with the receptionist. She says, "Lord Dark and I have collected so many things. Hurry up and raise our rank to S rank." But the receptionist explains, "I'm sorry, we can't do that because you all just joined the guild." That's when Gold says, "Nemomu, what are you doing? Do you really have to act like this? At least Lord Dark shouldn't take an F rank. You should be the one accepting the F rank." But then the receptionist gives them a new task, and that task is to kill the adventurer killer. They all go back to their hotel room, where they start discussing the situation. Apparently some adventurer killers were roaming around in that area to hunt human adventurers. That's why Light and the others decide that no matter what, they need to take them down. But then Gold says, "Master, why don't we call for some help from our base?" Light replies, "No, Gold, we can't do that." While they're talking, they sense something approaching them. Suddenly, a teleportation circle appears in their room out of nowhere, and Mia comes out of it, badly injured. Light can't understand what just happened to her. Even the bracelet he gave her is now broken. Light lays her down on the bed and uses his healing magic on her. Slowly, she regains consciousness and starts mumbling, "Help me." Dark and the others can't understand what she's trying to say, so Dark has no choice but to use his magical ability and enter her memories. Inside her memories, we see all the kids still in the base. Then a strange group of adventurers arrives. They say, "Kids, leave this place right now. Some adventurer killers have shown up and they can kill us all." The kids don't know what to do, but they decide that staying there at night would be extremely dangerous, so they start moving toward the surface. By midnight, they're exhausted from walking. That's when they run into some elves. These elves are none other than Kaido and his partner. Kaido asks, "Where are you all going? Don't you know there are adventurer killers around who are murdering normal adventurers?" The kids say, "What? Is that true?" And at that moment, Kaido realizes they are humans. He decides he'll kill them too, because the adventurer killers are actually Kaido and his group. He laughs and says, "I didn't know humans were this weak. Looks like I'll have to kill you as well." But Kaido's companion says, "Kaido, I want you to capture them alive. None of them should die." Kaido replies, "Fine, I understand. I'll finish them one by one." The kids finally realize that the adventurer killer they were afraid of is standing right in front of them. And he's the elf. Mia's brother tries to protect her and charges at Kaito, but Kaido shows no mercy and slashes him instantly. He injures the remaining adventurers as well. The kids understand that they cannot defeat this monster called Kaido. Mia can't even move or say anything. But then Gimra and Mia's brother gather their courage again to protect her. They shout, "Mia, run! Get out of here!" and charge at Kaito. But Kaito is furious now. He slashes them brutally. That's when Kaito's partner shouts, "Kaito, what have you done? Don't kill them. I need them for experiments." Kaito replies, "I already told you. Any human bug that gets in my way, I'll kill them." But his partner begs him to at least keep the girl alive because she's a mage. "Please capture her so I can experiment on her." Now Kaito's attention shifts to Mia. He approaches her with twisted intentions in his mind. "Get out of here," he says to the others, "because I'm about to do something to her. She's a girl after all." He starts imagining all sorts of disturbing things, and Mia can't say anything. Kaito says, "I'm the hero of the future, so I can do whatever I want with you." She starts crying. "You should feel honored that I'm going to do something to you." Mia is completely shocked, but suddenly her brother, using the last bit of strength he has left, stands up again. He wants to protect her one last time. He says, "Elf, I will kill you," and shouts for Mia to run. Finally, she runs away even though she knows she can't hurt Kaito at all. Mia's brother remembers Gold's instructions. First strike him, then remove his shield. He follows the technique exactly and manages to land a hit on Kaito's face. When Kaito realizes a human actually hit him, he explodes with rage. "A human hit me?" He uses his slash and kills Mia's brother mercilessly. But then the elf partner stops Kaito from completely finishing him off. "Kaito, wake up! I need them for experiments. Go after that girl. She's still alive." So Kaito agrees and starts chasing Mia. Mia is terrified and thinking, "I need to call for help no matter what." She starts running, but Kaito catches up again. She accepts her death. Kaito says, "I can catch you whenever I want, so running is pointless." Now Kaito starts moving toward Mia. But then we see Mia gather all her remaining power and unleash ice darts at Kaito. However, Kaito destroys her entire attack in an instant, and poor Mia can't do anything anymore. But at that moment, she presses the necklace Dark gave her, a teleportation necklace, and she teleports straight to Light. We return to the present, where Dark and his team finally understand what those elves did to Mia and the others. Meanwhile, Kaito's partner tries to heal the remaining dead children so he can convert them into pigs. That's when Kaito arrives as well. "I couldn't bring that girl with me." His partner yells, "Are you insane? You're a white knight. You even have a national treasure sword, and still you lost to a little girl. If she reached the surface, she'll call the white knights. They'll discover that you stole the national treasure." He continues, "Do you know their level? White knights are around level 2000, and their new commander, at least level 3000. Now even Kaito starts panicking. No, that can't happen." His partner tells him, "Kaito, calm down. If I can just finish my research, I will level you up." Kaito replies, "Fine, then I'll do it. But first we need to run so I can continue my research." But right then, Light appears. "I won't let you do that." They're all shocked to see him because one of the elves is level 1500, and even he didn't sense Light approaching. Later, Light and the others discover that Gamera and Maddie are already dead, but Ilio still has a bit of life left. Gold tells Light, and Light immediately rushes over and uses his healing magic to bring Ilio back. At that moment, Light's past memories begin to return. He can't understand why these elves killed the humans who were his friends, and now even Kaito starts laughing at him. He says, "First I'll kill you, then I'll kill that girl who came to you." But Light warns him not to do that. He says, "I haven't informed the guild yet." When Kaito hears this, he becomes insanely excited. "I knew it! I knew I was destined to be a hero. I knew I had the blessing of the goddess. That means no one can stop me. So kid, first I'll kill you. But Light says, I don't understand why you're celebrating. You're my prey, and now I'm going to hunt you. You took my friends from me, so I'll give you a death worse than theirs. Now Light becomes completely serious. He tells Gold and Nemumo to stay out of this, and then he starts walking toward Kaito. But Kaito is overflowing with confidence. He thinks Light is just a human with no power, so he lets Light come closer. Eventually, Kaito becomes furious and attacks Light directly. But Light dodges the attack in just 2 seconds. So this is your full strength? Legendary hero? Hearing that makes Kaito even more furious, and he attacks non-stop. Even his partner can't understand how a human could be this strong. Light has no trouble at all. He dodges Kaito's attacks and strikes his ribs. The attack is extremely powerful, and now Kaito is enraged. He shouts, I don't believe it! A human kid is mocking me! He becomes so angry that he pulls out his legendary sword, Grandis, and starts slashing at Light. The slashes are incredibly powerful, and even Light is surprised by the amount of magical energy behind them. But then Light finally starts using his own magic. He dodges everything with ease. Kaito tries a surprise attack, but Light avoids that too. Now Light himself is getting angry. Kaito yells, Human boy, you cheated! You said you were a mage, but you're no mage, you're a fighter! Light replies, Did I say that? I am a mage. Kaito screams, That's a lie! You're a fighter! And now Light uses ice water magic. When Kaito and his partner see this magic, they are shocked. It's S-rank magic. They can't believe their eyes because Light created a magic spell without any enchanting and even used an ice wall as a shield. Kaito screams, How can I, a future hero, lose to a human boy? I cannot lose. Not as long as I have the sword given to me by my master. And when Light and the others hear Master Ward, they're completely shocked. They start asking Kaito, Did you just say master? Do you know the master? Kaito replies, Know the master? I even have his blood. And I'm not just anyone, I'm a submaster myself. Hearing this, Light and the others are stunned. They had only come to the surface to hunt monsters, and now this? Kaito is overflowing with confidence, fully convinced he can kill Light right there. But then Light tells Nemomo and Gold about the new plan. He says, Nemomo, Gold, this elf definitely knows something about the master. That's why my order is to capture both of them alive and take them back to the base. Okay, Master Light, as you say, they reply, ready to attack Yannick, the dark elf. Yannick enters his full form. He says, I'm actually a researcher, but if you want to fight me, how about fighting my chimeras instead? He releases his magic, and the strange men standing beside him suddenly transform into terrifying monsters. Chimeras, a fusion of humans and monsters. Everyone is shocked seeing them. Light recognizes one of the chimeras. It's an old adventurer he once met. Yannick laughs like an idiot and says, Meet my creations, I made them with my own hands, so kid, what do you think of them? Light doesn't respond. He simply tells Nemomo and Gold, Please end these humans' suffering. Nemomo and Gold prepare to finish them, but the chimeras attack first. They slash them with their daggers and swords, thinking they've killed them, but nothing happens. Yannick laughs like a maniac. These are my chimeras. They don't die that easily. He approaches them, and the chimeras keep regenerating. Nemomo and Gold get angrier and finally unleash their strongest spells, blue and purple charging straight at the chimeras and wiping them out in a single slash. Yannick is stunned. He can't believe his creations are destroyed. He even starts crying. Nemomo appears behind him, presses his bell icon, and switches him off. Meanwhile, Light and Kaito are locked in an intense fight, but eventually, Kaito starts losing. Light taunts him, running away now. Didn't you love when your prey ran from you? So why are you running? Kaito gets furious, draws his sword, and says, Kid, I'll end you. I'll show you the real power of my sword, Grandis. He points it toward the sky, and immense mana surges into it. The sword is not normal. It's a national-level treasure infused with powerful magic spells. Light realizes exactly what it is. Kaito shouts, Where are you running now? One hit from this and you're done. But Light isn't affected. He says, This sword is perfect for fireworks. Fireworks, huh? How dare you? Light returns to the surface and stands there calmly. You think hitting me with that sword will kill me? Go ahead, try it. I won't even move. Kaito unleashes his full power. The attack hits Light directly, but nothing happens. Shocked, Kaito keeps striking him over and over, but Light doesn't take a single scratch. Light goes back into his real form, punches Kaido hard, and sends him flying. Kaido's sword falls from his hand. With no path left, Kaido flees for his life. Light says, "Weren't you aiming to become a legendary hero? So why are you running now?" Kaito cries, "Please forgive me. That was just a dream. Please spare my life. I'll tell you everything. I was a candidate to become the next commander of the White Knights, but I failed." Light replies, "What are you asking forgiveness for? Ilio, Gimra, Vudi, and all the other humans, they begged you the same way for their lives. Did you forgive them? After what you did to them? Now I'll do the same to you. Your dream was to become a legendary hero, right? So I'm giving you one last chance. Here, take your sword and fight me one more time, and if you manage to land even a single hit on me, I'll let you live." But Kaido was already terrified of Light, so to save his life, he turned around and ran. Light immediately fired his light arrow at him and shattered one of his legs. Kaido collapsed on the ground, screaming in pain. Mia was right from the beginning. He wasn't a legendary hero. He was nothing but trash. Next, the group decides they will bury Gamera and Mantis's bodies right there, but they will leave Ilio with Mia. They prepare to do exactly that, when suddenly Kaito and Yannick speak up again and ask Light, "Master, it seems you've forgotten about us. What are you planning to do with us?" Light replies, "What am I going to do with you? You're coming with me to my basement, and there I'll torture you until I learn every single thing you know about the Masters." With that, they all teleport to the basement. When Kaido and Yannick realize they're standing at the bottom floor of the most dangerous dungeon in the entire world, the abyss fear overwhelms them. Just then, Light's 4 cuties arrive, all excited to see him. They ask, "Light, what are these people doing here?" Light explains everything. These two killed many innocent humans, and they also know a lot about the Masters. Hearing this, the 4 girls become even more excited. Their only goal now is to extract information from them no matter how painful it gets. Anger rises in all of them. Ellie speaks first. "I'll torture them so badly that they'll regret their entire lives." "Yeah, me too. I'll use my forbidden magic on them," another one says. They get ready to begin, but Kaido and Yannick start begging Light for forgiveness again. Light replies, "All those innocent humans you killed, they begged you for mercy too. Did you forgive them?" "No. And now I'll do the same." Kaido and Yannick completely break down. They can feel Light's terrifying mana. They realize they cannot escape the basement no matter what they do. Meanwhile, we cut to Mia, who finally wakes up. Dark arrives and talks to her. She asks him where everyone else is, but Dark has no answer, so he gives her the last remaining keepsake of her friends. When Mia learns that all her companions are dead, she's devastated. She starts crying, but she still believes that her last friend, Ilio, is alive somewhere. Later, the group leaves. Mia has no one left. All her companions are gone. The next morning, they head to the guild. The receptionist is extremely happy with Dark's team. She says, "You came just in time. We've decided to promote your team to C-rank adventurers." Nemomo and the others are thrilled. They finally defeated the adventurer killer, but the guild still hasn't found the bodies. All they know is that the adventurer killers were an elf and a dark elf. In the evening, Dark and the others speak with Mia and Ilio. They ask, "So what's your plan now? What will you do next?" But they have no plan. They decide to return home. Dark asks Mia, "So, you won't be adventuring anymore? And you won't go to magic school?" Mia answers, "After that incident, I'm terrified. And to be honest, I don't have any money to attend a magic school, so I'll learn magic on my own. And the next time we meet, I promise I'll be stronger." With that, they head toward their hometown. Meanwhile, Dark returns to the base to continue his next mission. Light asks Ellie and the others if they learned anything. They hand him an information paper. It says the Masters control the entire world, and Submasters are their disciples. They believe they can gather important information from the commander of the White Knights. So Light and his group decide to leave immediately and search for the White Knight commander. Before leaving, Light opens a teleportation gate. Kaido and Yannick are still half dead on the floor. Light uses his power on them one last time. Ellie asks, "Master Light, are we ready to go?" "Yes, we're ready," he replies. Light's next mission is to kill Sasha the elf who betrayed him the very first time. They also learn that the vice commander of the White Knights is Sasha's fiancé. So first, they will capture the White Knights, and then kill Sasha so they can get closer to the truth about the Masters. We see Sasha sitting with her fiancé, Lord Mill. She says, "You should have seen it when I killed that kid named Light. First, I attacked his leg so he couldn't walk. Then he begged me for mercy. But I didn't forgive him. And his face when he died, you should have seen it." Both of them despise humans. Meanwhile, Light remembers the moment he killed Jiro and how happy it made him. Now he's going to kill Sasha. Sasha rides her wagon toward her castle, excited for her upcoming wedding to Lord Mill. Suddenly, the driver stops the wagon. A human slave had stepped in front of them, dropping all his belongings. An elf guard rushes over and starts beating him mercilessly. Nothing has changed. Elves still treat humans as worthless. In this country, humans have no value. Suddenly, Sasha notices a strange child in the crowd. She feels something odd. She thinks the boy is Light. Shocked, she jumps out of the wagon and runs after him. She chases him into an alley but finds no one. She convinces herself she imagined it. But then she notices a letter pinned to the wall. It's from Light. It reads, "Meet me at the tower." She panics. She can't believe Light is alive. She thinks, if anyone finds out Light is still alive, my marriage to Lord Mill will never happen. They might even kill me. From far away, Light and Ellie watch her. Everything is going exactly according to their plan. Their only goal now is to kill Sasha. Ellie is furious at her. Sasha betrayed Lord Light in the past and even tried to kill him. Ellie swears she will kill Sasha with her own hands. Meanwhile, in the White Knight Castle, a human is seen being brutally tortured by two elves. There were two of them, one named Nia and the other named Kia. All the White Knights were gathered there, and they started their meeting. Among them was a strange elf obsessed with plots, and he was also a White Knight. His name was Sherfend. The red-haired one was named Must, and the chief elf of the White Knights was present as well. Every one of them was a master. They even seemed to know about Kaito, and they themselves possessed the blood of a master. They began discussing matters among themselves. Meanwhile, those kids still hadn't stopped torturing the human. At that moment, Sherfend spoke to the chief. "Chief, did you hear? That elf named Kaito, he's dead. People even used to call him the adventurer killer." Sherfend was a complete pervert. He had a human girl sitting in his lap, and all the elves there treated humans like slaves. Nia and Kaya kept torturing the human even more. Must finally stepped in and said, "Nia, Kaya, what are you two doing? Just finish him already. Don't you know humans don't have any power? You shouldn't waste time torturing them, just kill them." But Nia and Kia didn't agree at all. They started arguing. Just then, the chief of the White Knights had enough. When he spoke, "Stop." Everyone could feel the pressure of his magic. The intensity of his mana frightened them so much that none of them dared say another word. The commander ordered, "Nia, Kia, finish him. And if you don't, I'll kill you both. Must stay quiet and do your work. And Sherfend, tell me everything about Kaito." Sherfend was furious now. He ended the human in a single strike. "Forgive me if I scared you," he said sarcastically. All the White Knights left, except Sherfend. The chief White Knight began speaking to his servant. "Sherfend, what are you doing? You shouldn't get so close to any human. Humans are worse than trash." Sherfend replied, "It's fine, chief. I just use these humans. And honestly, I don't like human women at all. Should I get one for you too?" "No, I have no interest in that," the chief said coldly. "I'm giving you a job. Bring me every bit of information you can find about Kaito and quickly." After saying that, the chief left. Later that night, Sasha was fast asleep, but suddenly a massive tower appeared in the forest. It belonged to Light. Ellie had summoned it. When Sasha saw it from her balcony, she froze in fear. She remembered Light's letter. No, is Light really alive? Meanwhile, an elf was guiding a carriage of human slave children toward the castle. As he approached the forest, he saw a terrifying monster. It was extremely dangerous. The elf was so scared that he ran straight back to the Adventurer Guild. Soon, every elf adventurer knew about the monster. A new guild quest appeared. Whoever could bring reliable information about the tower near the forest would be rewarded with a large amount of money. Adventurers were excited. They wanted to increase their levels too. Light's group also arrived at the guild, but then some sleazy elves walked in and started flirting with Nemomo. "Hey cutie," one of them said, "why don't you join our team? We're over level 150. Leave that kid and that trashy golden armor and come with us." Nemomo refused. The elves got angry at Light. They were about to attack him, but Light suddenly summoned thunder from the sky. When it struck, the elf straight up wet his pants. He had no idea what just happened. The entire elf society now knew about the tower. so many adventurers started moving toward the forest to gather information as soon as possible. One elf party entered the forest. Their only goal was to reach the tower. Since the forest was filled with monsters, they used a human girl as bait. But suddenly, a massive monster appeared from behind and swallowed one of the elves whole. The others were shocked, and the monster ate them too. As the monster moved toward the human girl, it did nothing to her and then walked away. Soon after, a group of strange rockstar-looking kids arrived. They poured a liquid on the girl. It was a healing potion. She was completely confused. For the first time in her life, someone had helped her. Later we learned that these rockstars belonged to Aoki. Aoki could tame any beast and command them. Ellie and Aoki began discussing what they should do to help Light get his revenge. Ellie seemed overly worried, and when Aoki realized what she was thinking, she got angry. "Are you seriously doubting Lord Light?" "No, that's not what I meant," Ellie said. But Aoki was furious. "Anyone who doubts my master, Lord Light, I'll kill them myself." Ellie got angry too. They were both ready to duel. But Aoki's squad members spoke up. "Miss Aoki, we've taken the children to a safe place. They've accepted us. The mission is complete." The children had no idea another human had come to help them. After that, Ellie and the Rockstars left. Later that night, we returned to Sasha. She was terrified of Light. "I guess I have to go to that forest alone," she thought. "But the forest is filled with dangerous monsters, and if the White Knights find out Light is still alive, they'll kill me. But can I go there?" She finally decided she would go alone to the tower and kill Light herself. Next, we see that all the White Knights have gathered in the council hall. They've also started hearing rumors about Light and the tower. The White Knights commander, Maddie, arrives as well, and even the Chancellor of the Elf Kingdom is there. They begin discussing what they should do about the tower because they still don't have any solid information about it. But just then, the Queen of the Elf Kingdom arrives. She gives a direct order, saying it looks like they'll have to increase the reward so that more people will join and collect information for them. Everyone agrees with the Queen's decision. Later, we learn that Maddie, the White Knight's commander, is actually the Queen's son. The group starts planning what their next move should be. They also know about the Masters. They're aware of an old prophecy that says a dark cloud will rise in the future, and a human hero will appear to defeat him and destroy all evil. But the elves don't believe any of that. They want the humans wiped out completely. To them, humans are insects. There's no point in letting them live. They should be eliminated. And now, everyone in the kingdom is fully prepared to head toward the tower, especially because the Queen has increased the rewards so much. At the same time, we see Light and his group moving out as well. When the elves notice them, they get furious. They begin to move toward them, but suddenly Sasha appears from behind. Sasha senses that something is definitely wrong. "Human, stop right there." Light realizes Sasha is coming toward them. He tells Nemumo and Gold, "Don't do anything." Sasha starts walking straight toward Light. "Show me your face, quickly." "Are you talking to me?" "Take off that ugly mask." But Light refuses. This only angers Sasha even more. She attacks him in anger and knocks his mask far away. So guys, that's all for today. The next episode is going to be absolutely amazing. And if you want it as soon as possible, hype this video up and make sure we hit 200 comments. I'll upload the next part right away. Sasha kept moving forward, but then her eyes caught something. She noticed a small child standing near the light. She called out from behind, "Hey you kid, stop right there!" She began walking toward him. Sasha told him again to stay where he was, and then she herself started moving closer. But Light began thinking to himself, "This isn't the right place to finish things. I've waited 3 years for this revenge, and no matter what happens, I will complete it. But for now, I have to wait a little longer." Sasha finally reached Light, and the moment Light turned toward her, Sasha said, "Hey human, take off that ugly mask from your face." But Light didn't do it, so Sasha slapped him hard, sending his mask flying far away. The moment Nemomo and Gold saw this, they became furious, but Light calmed them down. He removed his hoodie and showed Sasha the scar-covered face underneath. Sasha still didn't recognize him. She said, "Ugh, you look awful. Just put your mask back on. And honestly, with a face like that, you don't even deserve to be alive." Sasha walked away, leaving him behind. Light and his group continued moving forward, though Nemomo and Gold were still extremely angry at her. Light reminded them that they were close to completing their revenge anyway, and they just needed to wait a little longer. They started heading toward the forest, but Light turned around and noticed some elves trailing them. The group increased their speed to escape, but the elves refused to back down and kept chasing. Light and the others were talking when suddenly the elves reached them. The elves shouted, "Humans, you made us run a lot. Now we'll end you here, and consider yourself lucky. You get to die at the hands of elves." They wanted nothing more than to kill Light. Light didn't want to hurt them, so he said, "Mira, can you help me please?" The elves confusedly asked, "Who are you calling?" But the moment Light spoke, a terrifying ghost appeared behind the two elves. The intense mana alone terrified them. She said, "You disrespected my lord, and for that I have to kill you." Mira used her powers and gave both of them a merciless death. She then stood beside Light, watching the brutal way she killed them. Everyone was shaken because Mira was surrounded by dark, demonic energy. The group then discussed how they would carry out their revenge on Sasha. But that wasn't all. Light's other cards also arrived. Each one had a level above 5,000. Their names were Isit, Mira, Suzu, and Jack, and each one was extremely powerful. They discussed how to reach the tower, since that was going to be their headquarters on the surface. As they continued moving, Jack told his brother Gold, "You did well helping Light. I'm proud of you, and Light is like my little brother anyway." But when Light's subordinates heard this, they thought Jack was disrespecting him. They grew angry and even considered killing Jack. Light quickly stepped in and stopped the fight. He explained that he didn't care what people called him, as long as they were loyal to Lord Light. Things finally settled down, and they continued forward. Everyone felt happy knowing they would be able to help their lord. Light talked with Isit, who revealed that she had been trained by him since she was also a maid. Mira joined the conversation too. Suzu, being extremely shy, couldn't talk to Light directly. Instead, her weapon, named Locke, spoke on her behalf. Meanwhile, Aogi and Eli were sitting at the tower waiting for Light and his group. They sensed Light approaching. As soon as Light arrived, Eli and the others rushed forward, excited to greet him and play with his small sword. "Lord Light, your arrival makes me so happy," Eli said. Everyone else was thrilled too, because this tower was now their headquarters, where they would carry out their mission and plan Sasha's downfall. They all entered inside as Eli explained the tower's special abilities. No physical or magical attacks work within it. Even the entrance was guarded by a dangerous dragon, Eli's pet, and if anything went wrong, the dragon would destroy everything. Light walked toward his throne, and his subordinates were overjoyed to see it. They began their meeting to plan Sasha's revenge. Eli stepped forward and asked, "Lord Light, may I explain my plan?" Light agreed. Eli told everyone the plan. First, they would set up Sasha's wedding here, then invite the White Knights. Using their help, they would gather information about the Master. And finally, they would happily finish Sasha once and for all. Everyone cheered after hearing it. Eli used her magic and summoned Light's shadow clone. This clone would go into the dungeon to level up, ensuring no one suspected anything. Light thanked her, saying the plan wouldn't work without her. Their only goal now was to bring Sasha here. Meanwhile, Sasha was seen heading into the forest with the elves she had hired. Her only mission was to kill Light, and no one could know he was still alive. Next, we see Sasha moving forward again, but suddenly she spots a massive dragon deep inside the forest. That alone was enough to scare her, so Sasha decided to return to the royal kingdom and bring the White Knights with her. And this was exactly what Light had planned from the beginning. He wanted Sasha and the White Knights to walk straight into his trap. Everything was unfolding exactly the way he wanted, because a war was coming. Light's army versus the 11 Kingdoms and the White Knights. That night, Sasha met with the White Knights to discuss how they would reach Light's tower and carry out the rest of the plan. She told all the knights that the tower was full of dangerous monsters, and even a dragon. Hearing this shocked the White Knights. They could hardly believe Sasha, wondering if she was even telling the truth, because if what she said was real, then the day wasn't far when the 11 Kingdoms would be completely destroyed. But then the commander of the kingdom stepped forward and said that the Black Fools had made the exact same report earlier, meaning Sasha was telling the truth. After that, everyone began planning how they would enter Light's tower. Before finalizing anything, the Queen and the others asked the White Knights commander, Hooty, for his decision. Hooty thought deeply for a moment and finally said, "All right, tomorrow morning we'll head out to destroy that tower." They finalized their plan. First, they would kill the dragon and then proceed with everything else. But then Sasha went to the commander and begged, "Please, commander, I want to join the mission." The commander refused, saying Sasha's level was much lower than the Black Knight's. But he added, "Fine, I'll give you permission, but I need something strange from your father in return." Sasha agreed. That night, she went to her father and convinced him to hand over whatever the commander wanted. Early the next morning, the White Knights and Sasha gathered together. They were now fully prepared to move toward the tower. First, they discussed how they would enter, but the White Knights still didn't trust Sasha at all. Then Sasha's fiancé, Kill, stepped forward and said, "Sasha isn't weak. Her level is actually around 500. Hearing this surprised everyone, including Nia and the others. Finally, they agreed to bring Sasha along. The White Knights and the others headed toward the forest, but Light and his team were watching them the entire time. Light said to Eli, "You're doing great. I know Sasha and the others will arrive soon." Hearing this made Light even more excited. Meanwhile, the White Knights moved deeper into the forest. They still didn't trust whether Sasha was really strong or not. So they asked her, "Sasha, are we following the right path to the boss?" She answered yes. They continued forward, and Nikhil, one of the White Knights, gave her his full support. Finally, they reached Light's tower. The moment the White Knights saw it, they were shocked. The tower was enormous, and the intense mana radiating from it was overwhelming. Suddenly, the gate of the tower opened, and dangerous monsters began to come out. But the White Knight's plan was only to kill the dragon, Eli's pet. The commander, Hootie, said, "We don't need to fight these monsters. The adventurers' party will handle them." The monsters moved aside, clearing the path. Now Hootie and his team were fully ready to move in. Before entering, Hootie used his silence ability, a terrifying power. Sasha couldn't feel her breathing or even her heartbeat. If any normal person entered this barrier, they would die instantly, and within it, no one could sense their presence. Now they were ready to enter the tower. At the same time, Light and his team were prepared to face them. The White Knights rushed forward, speed running through the tower, but suddenly, a teleportation spell activated beneath them, separating everyone from each other. And then Light said, "Sasha, everything is about to begin. I want to see what kind of face you make when I finally finish you." So here we see Sasha and her fiancé talking. Her fiancé says he feels like they've been separated on purpose, and if they want to get out of here, they'll have to climb those stairs. Sasha agrees with him, and after thinking it through, they finally start heading upward. Meanwhile, Light is getting impatient. He's waiting for Sasha to show up and open the door. And then the scene shifts to the other side, where we see two knights named Nia and Kia. They're talking when suddenly those two girls show up. The girls look at them and say, "Oh, look, kids. How are we supposed to kill kids?" Nia and Kaya get angry and ask, "Who are you calling kids?" The girls say, "Obviously you two." That gets them even more annoyed, and just as the girls are still talking, Nia and Kia attack. But the girls dodge every attack easily. Nia and Kia say, "You know our size here is super small, and these pillars actually help us. But you guys, you don't have anything helping you, so get ready to die." The girls smirk and say, "Oh, really? Let's see how strong you actually are." Nia and Kia start attacking non-stop, saying, "First we'll cut off your hands, then your legs." And they keep talking trash while attacking. But no matter what they do, the girls dodge everything without even trying. Then we shift to Sherfend. The gun girl shows up in front of him, and you already know this guy. Whenever he sees cute girls, he loses it. He says, "Man, she's so cute. Do I really have to fight her? How about you just be my girlfriend? I'll treat you really well." Hearing that, the girl's gun gets mad and says, "How dare you say that? You're not even worthy of her." Sherfen's confused and asks what she means, and the girl explains. The gun goes, "Oh, so you like Master Light? But you know that can't happen." The moment the girl hears that, she gets furious and starts beating up her own gun. The gun screams, "Stop! You're gonna break me!" Sherfen sighs and says, "Dang it, I guess I have no choice. Can't believe I actually have to fight such a cute girl." Then he uses some kind of invisible weapon and fires arrows at her, but she easily dodges and counterattacks. Sherfen says, "Wow, not bad. You dodged and attacked right away. You're amazing. This is going to be fun." Then we go back to Nia and Kia. The two girls tell them to stop running around like squirrels. Nia and Kaya say, "Enough. Now watch what we're going to do." They use a spell called Wind Cutter and attack from every direction. But the girls dodge everything again like it's nothing. The knights complain. Who told them they'd have an advantage here? Nia and Kia just keep having fun attacking. Then we cut to some monsters about to eat someone, but Light's reflection appears and helps them. Gold and Nanaka protect him and chase the monster away. The real Light sits inside and says, "You told them to do this, didn't you?" She says, "No, I didn't. They did all that on their own." Light just sighs. Then the scene shifts back to the fight. Nia and Kia are still attacking non-stop. What happened? Getting tired already? We can fight like this for hours and you won't be able to dodge forever. Now watch our next attack. They start using Wind Cutter even more, so fast that dodging should be impossible. But the girl still dodges everything. Suddenly, in the middle of all this, she attacks Nia and cuts off her hand. The knights celebrate and say, "We did it! Look, we cut off your hand. Now see what we do next." But Nia laughs and says, "You two really are babies." She picks up her chopped off hand and eats it. Both the girls freak out, asking, "What are you doing? How can you eat your own hand?" Nia says they don't know anything and that they're the ones who are about to die. Right in front of them, her limb grows back. The girls are terrified, completely confused. Nia says, "All right, let me introduce myself. I'm an ultra-rare guard, level 777. The girls are shocked. That's impossible. No one can have a level that high. Then the red and blue-haired girl steps up and says, "My name is Isit. I'm also an ultra-rare guard, level 777, so now you two are done for." The two knights can't believe what's happening, and honestly, Nia looks way too happy about this. The knights finally realize they're doomed and try to run. Nia says, "Oh, look, they're running." Isit says, "Hold on, let me show you what we can really do." She uses fire magic while Nia shields herself. The knights try to defend with an ice shield, but nothing works. The fire melts through everything. Then Nia grabs the two knights and beats them badly until they're half dead. They beg, "Please forgive us, let us go." Nia says, "Have you ever forgiven a human? Do you know how much you've tortured them? Not once did you show mercy, so now it's your turn." And she literally absorbs them, eats them. Then we switch back to the gun girl fighting Sherfend again. Sherfend says, "Whoever you like, I'll kill him, and then we can be together." The gun warns him, "You really messed up saying that." The girl gets extremely angry because he threatened Light. She beats him so badly that he's almost dead within seconds. The gun stops her and says, "Wait, you can't kill him. Light-sama told us to capture them so we can gather information." She says, "Oh, right, I forgot." So they capture him. Then we return to Light, who says, "Looks like everyone's defeated their opponents. Now all that's left is Sasa. Wonder when she's going to show up." And here we see Sasa and her fiancé. And Sasa is thinking, "Just let me face Light once. I'll kill him right there." She doesn't know what he's been planning this whole time. And Light, on the other side, is also impatiently waiting for Sasa and her fiancé to show up. And then the scene shifts again, and we see another knight standing in front of Jack. Jack steps forward and says, "Oh, so I have to fight you now. All right then, let's see how strong you really are." But before that, he says, "Let me introduce myself properly. My name is Jack, and my level is 777. The knight scoffs and says, "Do you really think I'm going to believe that? No one has a level that high. Are you crazy? Are you trying to make a fool out of me?" Jack just says, "Whatever, forget all that. Come attack me. I'm here to kill you anyway." So the knight says, "Fine, if that's what you want, I'll give you exactly that." He doesn't waste a second and charges straight at Jack with a heavy strike, and he keeps attacking non-stop. But Jack dodges every single attack easily. The knight freaks out and says, "This is impossible. How is he dodging everything? Is he insane or what?" Then he says, "Fine, I'll hit him again, this time with everything I've got." And he really puts all his strength into that attack. But Jack uses just one finger to flick him away and sends him flying far back. Seeing this, the knight says, "No way. This is impossible. There's no way this guy is level 777. He says, "How is this possible? I'm a white knight. Even my level isn't this high. Am I dreaming?" And then he says, "No. No matter what, I can't lose to him." Then we see the knight start transforming himself. He says, "Blood, muscles, everything I have. Give me power so I can defeat him." And he demands more and more power. His body upgrades like crazy. Blood starts dripping from his eyes and a black aura forms around him. And on the other side, Jack also transforms. He says, "All right then, come on, let's see what you've got." Jack's eyes turn completely red, and now both of them are fully transformed. The knight charges at Jack again with non-stop attacks, but nothing affects Jack. He dodges everything calmly, and then with one strike, he breaks the knight's weapon and lands a heavy punch right on his face. The knight gets launched far away and hits the ground hard. And now he's barely conscious. Jack walks up to him and says, "Oh no, did I kill him? I wasn't supposed to kill him." But when he picks him up, he sighs in relief, saying, "Oh good, he's still alive. That means I did my job right." Then the scene shifts again, and we see that little girl getting ready to fight the main boss of all these knights. We see Najuna. She talks to the elf in front of her and says, "So, what's up? How are you doing?" "My name is Najuna, and I'm here to fight you." However, the guy doesn't respond to her at all. Najuna gets annoyed and says that she really hates it when someone ignores her. Even then, the guy stays silent. Finally, he speaks and says that he heard what she said and also heard that she came here to fight him. Najuna confidently replies yes, and says she feels like he is the strongest warrior here, so she tells him not to disappoint her and asks him to start the fight. The guy carefully observes Najuna and thinks to himself that she looks like a very skilled fighter. Even her appearance suggests that the master she serves must be extremely powerful. But he also thinks that it doesn't really matter because no one in front of him can win, and there are very few who could actually defeat him. He then tells her to begin. Najuna also gets fully ready to fight and says they should start. As soon as she says that, she swings her sword from a distance. Just from the pressure created by the swing, the air itself slices into the man's chest, leaving a deep cut and causing him to bleed heavily. The tower wall behind him completely shatters. Najuna asks, "What happened?" And the guy collapses on the spot. Seeing this, Najuna gets confused and says that she barely did anything and that he shouldn't be losing this easily. She tries to lift him up, but the guy is already rolling lifelessly on the ground. Suddenly, a voice comes from above, shouting at Najuna, asking what she has done and why she destroyed everything. The voice complains about how much effort and mana it takes to rebuild that wall, and asks if she even understands how much mana was wasted. Najuna gets scared and immediately apologizes, saying she didn't do it on purpose. She says she only attacked him, and he should have dodged it. She never expected him to be this weak. At this point, she is basically mocking him. She apologizes to Ellie and promises to be more careful next time. While people are talking, Najuna notices something shocking. The man starts healing himself. After fully healing, he stands back up. Najuna smiles and says she's glad to see that he's still alive, because now they can finally have a proper fight. She tells him to get up quickly so they can start again. Ellie warns Najuna that if she causes any more destruction this time, she will report her. Najuna reassures her, saying not to worry, that she will fight carefully, control her power, and avoid causing any damage, and we see the elf creating a sword using magic. He explains that this is not a normal sword. If Najuna attacks him, the sword will absorb her power and turn it against her. He then silently activates a spell, creating a room just like before. Inside this space, nothing else can be sensed. He prepares himself to attack Najuna. At the same time, we see Najuna put her sword away. She decides to fight without a sword this time to avoid causing too much damage. As the man slowly approaches her, Najuna starts sweating. He confidently thinks that every time he uses this attack, his opponent gets terrified and loses control, and he believes himself to be extremely strong. But in the blink of an eye, Najuna suddenly appears right in front of him and punches him hard in the face. He goes flying straight into the tower wall again, creating even more cracks. Once again, a furious voice yells at Najuna, asking why she keeps destroying the wall and calling her an idiot for not understanding. Najuna quickly says she didn't do it on purpose and asks them to look carefully, claiming she didn't actually break the wall this time. Ellie replies that damage isn't only about breaking it completely, and that the cracks still count, meaning she will have to repair it again. Najuna immediately starts apologizing to Ellie. Ellie tells her to forget about it and instead pick up the idiot lying behind her and bring him over. Ellie apologizes to him for everything that just happened. Light calmly says it's fine, explaining that Najuna is just like that and this kind of thing is normal. Then Light says that the time he has been waiting for has finally arrived. He tells both girls to get ready because the moment they were waiting for is finally here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the gate, we see Sasa and her fiancé. He tells her that this place must be where the tower boss is located and assures her not to be afraid because he is there to protect her. Sasa praises him, saying he is really kind. Suddenly, the gate opens by itself. Everyone is confused about how the door opened on its own, but they decide to go inside anyway. As they enter, the door then closes behind them, and Sasa says she feels like she has seen this boy somewhere before. She suddenly remembers seeing him before, wearing a mask with his face completely burned. Light greets her, saying it has been a long time since they last met. Her fiancé asks if she knows him, and Sasa denies it, saying she only met him briefly in town a few days ago. She then asks how he even knows her name. Light responds playfully, asking how she could forget him so easily when she used to love cuddling him so much. After saying this, Light finally removes his mask. Seeing his face, Sasa is completely shocked. She says it's impossible and asks how Light could still be alive. Light reminds her that 3 years have already passed and asks if she remembers him. Sasa is trembling and keeps saying this can't be real. She insists that she killed him with her own hands and that his face was burned until just a few days ago, so she doesn't understand how he looks normal now. Light explains that the burned face was just an illusion he used to distract her. He also reveals that he stopped himself from aging, just so he would never forget the pain she caused him into the past. Hearing this, Sasa is terrified and completely confused, unable to understand what is happening. Her fiancé asks again if she really knows this boy. Sasa tries to explain, but Light cuts in and reveals the truth. He explains that when she tried to kill him years ago, he fell into a teleportation trap and was sent somewhere else. After that, these girls took care of him, and he tells the entire story. At that moment, her fiancé realizes that Light is the mysterious person whom the elves and others were sent to kill. He starts laughing loudly and praises Sasa, calling her amazing for creating such a perfect opportunity for him to kill Light and earn a huge reward. Sasa panics and says this can't happen. She worries that if people find out she didn't actually kill Light, she will be in serious trouble. Her fiancé tells her not to worry and says that Light will die here and no one will ever find out the truth. He explains that they will tell everyone they defeated the tower boss and cleared the dungeon, not that they killed Light. Sasa agrees, saying the plan sounds perfect. The two of them get ready to fight Light. Sasa, however, starts talking too much and laughing nervously. Finally, Light tells her that it's enough. He stands up and tells both girls not to interfere, no matter what happens. Light steps forward in front of them and says, "Sasa, get ready now, because my revenge starts here." Sasa bursts out laughing and replies, "Revenge? You? Don't make me laugh. A filthy human like you is not capable of taking revenge on me. And anyway, I came prepared this time. Dale." With that, she pulls out a strange tool and calls it Okinia. No one really knows what it is, but as soon as she starts playing it, something terrifying happens. Huge creatures begin appearing all around them. We're told that this is a special weapon that only nobles can use, a weapon that holds both angelic and divine power. Sasa looks at Light and says, "Now watch carefully how I crush you. You're nothing but an ant to us." She then orders those creatures to kill Light. They launch powerful attacks at him from all sides. At first, Light does fight back, but his attacks don't seem to work properly. He's clearly struggling, and seeing this, Sasa and the others start laughing, thinking it's over and that Light is about to die. But then something unexpected happens. Light suddenly starts laughing, loudly. His laughter echoes through the place, and just hearing it makes everyone uneasy. Fear spreads across their faces as they wonder what is really happening. Then Light says, "That's enough." At that moment, he unlocks a strange and dangerous skill. Ellie and the other girl immediately try to stop him, begging him not to use it, warning him that he knows how dangerous this power is. But Light doesn't listen. He activates the spell anyway. The moment it's unlocked, Light becomes overwhelmingly strong. His staff transforms into a bizarre shape, and with just a single use of this power, he starts wiping out all the angel-type creatures one after another. Seeing this, everyone completely panics. Light then notices that his own hand is burning because of the power. Still, he says, "I don't care if my hand burns, or even if I have to cut it off. As long as I can take my revenge on Sasa, nothing else matters." Now, none of Sasa's attacks work on Light anymore. Not a single one. Fear takes over completely. Her fiancé starts panicking and shouts, "Sasa, do something fast. If this continues, he's going to kill us. The weapon he's holding is not normal. It's extremely dangerous." Sasa tries everything she can, but one by one, all her attacks fail again and again. Meanwhile, Light slowly keeps walking toward her. Step by step. He looks at Sasa and says, "Hurry up, if you can't stop me. And if I reach you, then you already know what I'm going to do to you." Next, the Archangel uses advanced class magic on Light, which turns out to be a divine advent, an extremely high-level and dangerous spell. The Archangel moves forward and strikes Light directly, seemingly killing him. But Light is now completely enraged. He immediately counterattacks with his Gungnir weapon and finishes the Archangel in a single second. Seeing this, Mian and Sasha are completely terrified. Mian urgently tells Sasha to quickly use Orikana again. Following his words, she uses Orikana once more, but this time, the summon fails. We see that Light's attack was far too powerful, and because of that, Orikana can no longer be summoned. In fact, Orikana itself has completely shattered due to Light's attack. Even Light finds it hard to believe how dangerous that sphere truly is. Mian asks Light what kind of sphere this is that was able to erase even fantastic mass magic. Light tells him that it is not a normal weapon, but a god-killing weapon, and it belongs to the Genesis class. Mian laughs and says not to joke around. First, Light claimed to be level 99, and now he is talking about a Genesis class. He says such a thing does not exist. At this point, both Mian and Sasha are extremely angry at Light, and they still refuse to apologize to him. Mian becomes especially arrogant and tells Light that as long as he has his blessing shield, Light cannot do anything to him. Light takes this personally and directly attacks the shield using Gungnir. Mian's blessing shield tries to dodge the attack but completely fails. Light has completely lost control now, and the blessing shield shatters into pieces. When Mian and Sasha see this, they're utterly horrified. Mian starts panicking and asks how this is even possible, how Light managed to break his blessing shield. He wonders if Light might be a master, but then admits he does not even know what a master truly is. Even then, they still refuse to fully accept reality. They pull out wings from their pockets and tell Light that they are leaving anyway, and that they will destroy his entire tower. Mian takes out his Skylar wing to teleport away. He tries casting the spell repeatedly, but nothing happens. Then Light calmly tells him that he forgot to mention that he installed a magical jamming system in the tower, which prevents any attacks or magic from being used inside. Mian insists that magic jamming is impossible and accuses Light of lying. He asks Ellie to explain to this idiot what exactly he did. Ellie then steps in and starts explaining everything, revealing that the entire system was her own creation. She tells Mian that she also possesses a special strategy class magic. However, Mian and Sasha completely refuse to believe her. They tell Light that no matter what he does, Commander Hadi and the others will surely come to rescue them. They laugh loudly, mocking him. But then Light calmly says sorry and tells them that they can come in now. Suddenly, Light's entire group enters through the gate. Sasha and Mian see that Commander Hadi, Sheriff Yannick, and all the others have already been killed. They cannot believe it. They realize that they are completely surrounded and begin wondering what they should do next. Mian is now utterly terrified after witnessing Light's power. He drops to his knees alone in front of Light and starts begging for forgiveness. He calls him Mr. Light and apologizes, saying he did not know Light was this powerful. He even offers Light the throne of their kingdom, claiming that he has political influence while Light has power, so Light should become king. Light responds by asking why Mian thinks he wants the throne. He says that all he wants is revenge, no matter what it takes. Mian immediately changes his stance and says that if Light wants revenge, then he should kill this filthy girl instead, claiming that he had no role in Light's suffering, and that he never tortured him. When Sasha hears this, she is completely shattered. She cannot believe that her fiancé is betraying her like this. Mian tells her to shut up and calls her an idiot. Sasha asks how he could do this to her. Mian then tells Light that if he wants, he can kill this worthless girl for him. But Light turns to Ellie and tells her that the time has come for her to do her job. We see that Ellie, filled with rage, steps forward, and her next target is Mian. She tries to use her power on him, but Mian is so terrified that he runs away. Ellie chases him while using her magic and finally manages to trap him. She tells him that she will kill him, but before that, she will enter his mind to extract useful information from it. She uses her power on him, and as a result, she obtains all the information she needs. We then see that Sasha is completely terrified now. She has no options left, so she starts begging Light for her life. She pleads with him, saying, "Light, please forgive me. Don't you remember? When no one stood by your side, I was the one who stood with you. I was the one who brought you into the team." But all of that was nothing more than a lie. Light completely refuses to believe her words. Desperate, Sasha uses her greatest weapon against Light and shows him her so-called feelings. She tells him that, in some way, she did like him, and that she still has feelings for him. She even says that he can do whatever he wants with her body. What she does not realize is that Light is not someone who would ever fall for something like that. He is completely unaffected by her words. When Sasha says this, Aoki suddenly becomes furious and shouts at her, asking how she dares try to use her body to manipulate their master. Light steps in and corrects her. He tells Sasha not to worry because he is not going to kill her. Instead, he will take her with him to the abyss, where he will torture her until she starts begging for death. Then Light apologizes, saying he almost forgot something. After that, he strikes her with the same arrow that Sasha had once used on him for the very first time. By now, Maddie has also arrived. She immediately traps Sasha, and the base is secured. At the same time, we see that Light's mana has been almost completely destroyed. Even his right hand has been completely shattered, causing him to lose consciousness. Gungnir is sealed once again, and everyone returns to the base. At the base, everyone is deeply worried about Light. Maddie explains to the others that Gungnir is not a normal weapon, but a god-level weapon. 3 years ago, when Light first summoned it, even he could not control it. That was why 4 level 99 individuals had to come and seal it. This time, Light had only used 1% of the weapon's power, yet it still caused massive destruction. This proves just how dangerous the weapon truly is. Later, Light regains consciousness. At the same time, we shift to the elf community, where everyone is in a state of panic. 3 days have passed, yet the White Knights still have not returned to the kingdom. Even the Queen is furious, because her son, Commander Hadi, had joined the White Knights and still has not come back. Suddenly, an elf comes running in and shouts, "Queen, Queen, I have news!" When asked what it is, he announces that dragons are approaching. At that very moment, more than 100 dragons launch an attack on the kingdom, led by Ellie herself. Ellie arrives at the kingdom with her dragons, and seeing such a massive dragon army, everyone is completely terrified. No one can understand what is happening. Ellie advances straight toward the castle with her dragons. The elf commanders and soldiers also witness everything. Ellie then uses her skill and declares that she is the Witch of the Tower, and that she must meet the one who controls the White Knights, no matter what. Hearing this, the commanders are filled with fear. They cannot believe that the Witch of the Tower has personally appeared. Ellie gives them a warning, saying they have only 1 minute. If no one comes forward, she will destroy the entire city. The Queen is now extremely frightened, and even though she does not want to, she is forced to step forward to talk to Ellie. Ellie descends to the ground along with her dragons, and the elf soldiers quickly surround her. Soon after, the kingdom's queen, Queen Leaf, finally arrives. She introduces herself and warns Ellie that she possesses immense power, and if Ellie makes even the slightest mistake or tries anything clever, she will kill her. Ellie is not afraid at all. She walks straight toward the Queen and says that it was the White Knights who first came to steal her treasure. The Queen responds by asking if Ellie is calling them thieves. Ellie calmly replies that she is not accusing them of anything and continues the conversation. However, the Queen is already shaken. Without thinking, the elf soldiers launch an attack on Ellie. In response, Ellie uses her sacred magic to trap them instantly. When the Queen witnesses Ellie's power, she is completely terrified and tries to flee. Ellie does not allow her to escape and traps her as well. Ellie then peers into the Queen's mind to gather all the necessary information, and she successfully extracts it. She orders the Queen to immediately expel all the humans who have been kept as slaves from the kingdom. After delivering her message, Ellie leaves the area. We then see Queen Leaf, who is left trembling in fear after witnessing even a fraction of Ellie's power. The story then returns to Light and Maddie. Light asks Maddie if the task has been completed. Maddie confirms that it is done. Light says that it seems like it is time for him to go to the surface. Soon everyone reaches the surface. A teleportation gate appears first, and Light and Maddie are summoned through it. We see that Light has already created his own kingdom on the surface, a place where only humans live. Light then declares that instead of destroying this world, he has decided to protect it. Everyone responds by saying that they will always stand by Lord Light. And with that, this episode and this season come to an end. I hope you enjoyed my explanation of this season. If you liked it and have not subscribed to the channel yet, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. If you want to watch Season 2, do not forget to press the bell icon and turn on all notifications. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We will meet again with another explanation. Until then, goodbye and see you next time.